Let's talk about how to run an effective meeting. The first question everybody asks when they learn that a meeting is going to be called is, what's this going to be about? And the second question is usually, how long is this going to take? With those thoughts, let me run through some tips on how to run an effective meeting. First things first, you have to have a purpose for the meeting. Establish that. What am I going to meet about? What am I trying to accomplish? You must have an agenda. If we're speaking biblically, the Bible says that without a vision, the people perish. The same is true of a meeting. Without a vision, the people in that meeting will perish, I promise. Your vision will be your agenda. Create an agenda. Creating one gives insight to the meeting. Just the title will give them a taste, like sticking your finger in the icing on a cake. You don't get the whole cake, but you know, that tastes good. I want more of that. Work on the agenda in advance of the meeting so you can ponder it and make sure that all the points are relevant. Prepare talking points so that you can have activities if they're necessary, or that it can be presented in a clear and concise manner. Don't chase rabbits, don't get off topic, keep it reined in, and your agenda will help you do that. When creating the agenda, include the necessary directives. Who's facilitating the meeting? Who's presenting the meeting if it's different than the facilitator? Where is the meeting? When is the meeting? How long is the meeting? Give them a time. What type of meeting is it? What is the objective? This should be stated at the top of your agenda. Write a brief statement giving a little more icing, if you will, but still not giving all of what the meeting is per se. Write out the schedule. Decide on the topics to be discussed. Prioritize them, handling the most important things first, unless that's a climactic part of your meeting, and then you'll build up to it. Either way, limit the number of things and topics you'll talk to, usually to no more than 5, because anything longer than that, you will lose people's attention. Statistically speaking, people usually have an attention span of about 15 to 20 minutes, so your key point shouldn't be longer than that, because if it is, you'll lose their attention and they won't know what you've talked about. Give each topic or line item a time allocation, whether it be you give 15 minutes here and 10 minutes there, or you say this, topic 1 will go from 9 to 9:15, topic 2 will go from 9 to 9:05, topic 3 will go from 9:30 to 10. Just be sure to tell people what to expect. Having the timeline will help keep them focused. Allow time at the end of the meeting for questions and answers. 15 minutes should be an adequate time for any Q&A. If you get to the end of the meeting and nobody has questions and nobody has concerns, let them go early. I don't think anybody would complain about being able to leave a meeting early. If possible, considering the meeting and the nature of the meeting, send the agenda out early so that people can review it and prospective attendees can know, what to expect. Key speakers, if there are any, will know, what to talk about. If feedback is encouraged, it'll give them some time to ponder the topics before they're just surprised at the meeting. When you're in the meeting, you've got the agenda all done, people know what to expect, it's your timeline, table of contents, if you will, and you're in the meeting, stick to it. Stay on topic, stay within the time frame that you've allotted unless sensitivity issues arise. If they do, handle it with care. As the facilitator, you're in control. If that topic needs to be handled right then, curtail the rest of the meeting and handle that situation. Go back to the meeting if it's appropriate, and if not, table it for a future meeting. Above all, use the time wisely and effectively. You have a group together and their time is important, and so you want to get things accomplished that you set out to accomplish. If you don't, the next time you call a meeting, it'll be a joke. Facilitating a meeting can sometimes be like managing a classroom of toddlers or teenagers. I don't know which is worse. Bring the points to the table as they are laid out on the agenda. Allow discussion or feedback if appropriate. If it veers off topic, step up and gently redirect, such as, "Thank you, Bob, for your input. We'll table that to another meeting, but right now we need to move along." Or something like, "Susie, thank you so much for bringing that to the table. We'll think about it, in the future, but currently we're going to go on to topic number 2. Keep the train on track so you can reach the final destination. Types of meetings. When creating the agenda, keep in mind the type of meeting it will be. Is it going to be a business meeting where it's a little more formal? Is it going to be a status update where it's short and to the point? Those are typically, short, simple meetings. Informational meetings where you're going to give out, say a computer migration is going to be scheduled and you've got to give the information that's pertaining to that. Or maybe you're going to introduce a new team member or a new management member. Let them talk for a minute so that the people can get a feel for who they are. If it's a decision-making meeting where you want to present pros and cons, open the floor for discussion, give details, open for vote if needed. Problem-solving meetings, you want to present the problem, entertain suggestions for solutions, and if appropriate, you'll solve it then. Or if it's urgent, most certainly you need to solve it before you leave that meeting. If not, you can decide on a plan of action, gather information, give different people tasks maybe, and then decide to meet briefly later at a different time to present those solutions. Team building meetings are a little more lighthearted. They have icebreakers. They may have small group tasks. Motivational pep talks, attaboy, snacks are always good. In those kinds of meetings, you can usually also give some corrective criticism. When you mingle it and mix it in there with things that are fun, it's usually more well received. Various type meetings will require varied formats. Consider what type, what will be done, and what the focus is, and determine the setting from there. Above all, manage the time. Stay to the agenda. At the conclusion of the meeting, reiterate or recap the highlights. Now remember, Bob, you're going to get the names of the contractors, and Sally, you're going to collect bids from those contractors, and y'all are going to put everything on a spreadsheet and forward it to me. Later, a couple of weeks from now, we'll all get back together, we'll review all the bids, and we'll make a decision on who we're going to go with. Something like that. Otherwise, you can have everyone, excuse me, you can let everyone know that you're going to send out minutes to a meeting. If it was more formal, you probably had minutes taken, and you'll send those out. If it's not that formal, but you want to do some highlights, you'll let everyone know, thank you for coming. I'm going to send out some recaps, and just keep it fresh on people's minds, especially if it has highlighted that there'll be another meeting coming as a result of this meeting. Some rules to remember that should be understood, but you may have to state them, is to be on time. Leave the meeting only during the meeting, only if it's an emergency. Don't ever leave a meeting in the middle of a meeting unless it's an absolute emergency. Be prepared. Don't go into a meeting unprepared. Turn off cell phones and have the attendees turn off the cell phones. They're there for a purpose and an allotted time, and they can devote the time to that meeting. Follow courtesy and protocol for taking turns. Be fair. Give everyone an allotted time if you're going to let people speak. Respect time limits. People have come there and given their time, so be respectful of that. Be professional. Even in a lighter meeting like a team building, remain professional and keep appropriateness at all times. Clean up after yourself. My rule of thumb is that however you enter someplace, you should leave it even better than when you got there. Engage in polite conversation afterwards if it's appropriate, just to kind of come down from the meeting, if you will. More than anything, convey what is necessary in an appropriate and comfortable time frame. And whatever the meeting type, style, whatever, handle with professionalism and courtesy. Thank you very much. Have a good day.